In the dazzling pulse of Manhattan, where skyscrapers gleam and secrets fester, Amara Jackson, a radiant black woman, stood on the cusp of her dream wedding, pregnant with hope. Her heart swelled for billionaire Ethan Caldwell, a man who promised her the stars. But beneath the glitz of their engagement, a venomous truth slithered. One fateful night, Amara overheard Ethan's cruel laughter, his voice dripping with scorn as he confessed to using her pregnancy for his empire's gain. Her world shattered, yet her spirit ignited. Armed with a secret recording, Amara crafted a plan not just to leave, but to destroy the facade of the man who betrayed her. At their opulent cathedral wedding, before Manhattan's elite, she unleashed a revelation that would echo across the globe. This is no ordinary tale of heartbreak. It's a saga of a woman's wrath, a black queen reclaiming her crown. With every step down the aisle, Amara transformed betrayal into power, her story a beacon for the broken. Will you dare to witness the fall of a billionaire and the rise of a legend? Amara Jackson, a 30-year-old black woman, glowed with a quiet strength that turned heads in Manhattan's glittering chaos. Her skin shimmered like polished ebony, her eyes held dreams too vast for the city's skyline. 7 months pregnant, she carried her baby with pride, her cream silk dress hugging her curves as she moved through the Upper East Side's elite circles. Her laughter was soft but infectious, her grace a shield against the world's sharp edges. To her, love was a sacred vow, and in Ethan Caldwell, a billionaire tech mogul, she believed she'd found it. Ethan, with his chiseled jaw and tailored suits, was the city's golden boy, charismatic, powerful, and impossibly charming. His penthouse parties dazzled, his promises of forever felt like gospel. Amara trusted him, not blindly, but with a heart that had weathered storms and still chose hope. Their wedding was the talk of New York, set for St. Patrick's Cathedral, where chandeliers would gleam and roses would cascade. Amara spent evenings planning, her fingers tracing guest lists, her mind painting a future with Ethan and their child. She'd met him 3 years ago at a charity gala, his wit disarming her defenses. He'd knelt under a starlit rooftop, diamond ring glinting, and she'd said yes, believing in a love that could conquer all. Her father, a retired professor, beamed with pride. Her friend Nia teased her about becoming Mrs. Billionaire. Even Manhattan's tabloids couldn't resist the story. A black woman rising from Brooklyn's grit to marry into wealth. Yet, beneath the surface, cracks whispered. Ethan's late nights at the office grew frequent, his phone buzzed with messages he dismissed. Amara, ever patient, chalked it up to his empire's demands. She'd spent years building her own career as a nonprofit director, uplifting black youth, and understood ambition's toll. Still, she poured her soul into their bond, cooking his favorite meals, soothing his stress with gentle touches. Her pregnancy, a surprise, became their shared joy, or so she thought. Ethan held her hand at doctor's visits, his smile warm, his words tender. "You're my everything, Amara." She believed him, her heart a fortress of faith. The night before their rehearsal dinner, Amara sat in her brownstone, rubbing her belly, envisioning their child's laughter. Nia burst in, as always, with a grin. "Girl, you're glowing, but you gotta do something wild for Ethan before the big day." Amara laughed, tired but content. "Like what, Nia?" "I'm carrying a whole human." Nia winked, suggesting a surprise visit to Ethan's penthouse with a gift, a custom watch engraved with their initials. Amara hesitated, her feet ached, her body begged for rest, but love nudged her forward. "For him," she whispered, grabbing the velvet box. Manhattan's lights twinkled outside, oblivious to the storm brewing. She hailed a cab, the watch in her lap, her heart full of devotion. Little did she know, this night would unravel everything, setting her on a path not to an altar of vows but to a battlefield of truth. Amara's cab glided through Manhattan's neon veins, the city's pulse syncing with her racing heart. The velvet box in her lap felt like a talisman, the engraved watch a symbol of her love for Ethan. She imagined his smile, the way his eyes crinkled when she surprised him. The driver pulled up to his sleek midtown penthouse, its glass facade gleaming under moonlight. Amara stepped out, her hand cradling her belly, her step slow but determined. The doorman, recognizing her, waved her through with a nod. The elevator hummed, carrying her to the 50th floor, where Ethan was staying before their wedding. Her heart fluttered with anticipation, but a strange unease gnawed at her gut. The hallway was silent, save for the soft hum of air conditioning. Amara approached Ethan's door, her fingers brushing the watch box. She raised her hand to knock but froze. Voices leaked through the door, low and intimate. Her breath caught. Ethan's voice, sharp and mocking, sliced through the air. Amara's so naive. Claire. She thinks this is love. I'm only marrying her for the kid. Secures my stake in her family's trust fund. Laughter followed. Cruel and unfamiliar. A woman's giggle, Claire's, pierced Amara's chest like a blade. You're ruthless, Ethan. She's nothing without that baby. Amara's knees buckled. But she steadied herself against the wall. Her world tilted, the man she loved morphing into a stranger. Her fingers trembled, but her mind sharpened. She pulled out her phone, hands shaking, and opened the voice recorder. Pressing it to the doorframe, she captured every damning word. Ethan's voice continued, venomous. Once we're married, I'll control her. She's too emotional to see through me. Claire's laughter rang again, followed by the unmistakable sound of a kiss. Amara's eyes burned, but no tears fell. Her baby kicked. A silent reminder of what was at stake. She recorded for 5 agonizing minutes, each word a nail in the coffin of her trust. Ethan's betrayal wasn't just personal, it was calculated. A plot to exploit her child's future. Amara's heart screamed, but her face remained a mask of resolve. She stepped back, the phone still recording, and moved silently to the elevator. Her reflection in the mirrored doors showed a woman transformed, not broken, but forged in fire. In the cab back to her brownstone, she sat stone still, the driver glancing at her pale face. You okay, miss? He asked. She nodded, her voice locked away. At home, Amara locked her door, sank onto her couch, and replayed the recording. Ethan's words looped, each playback fueling her resolve. She copied the file to a USB drive, emailed it to herself, and hid the drive in her safe. Her hands rested on her belly, her baby's kicks grounding her. We're enough, she whispered. The city outside buzzed, but Amara's world had shifted. She wouldn't cry. She wouldn't run. She would strike. As dawn broke, she stared into the dark, her mind racing with a plan to unravel Ethan's lies before the world. This wasn't just revenge, it was her rebirth. Amara sat in her brownstone's dim glow, the recording looping through her earbuds like a war drum. Ethan's voice, cold and calculating, mocked her love, her pregnancy, her very existence. Each word carved deeper. But Amara's tears never fell. Her pain was fuel, her baby's kicks a call to action. She pulled her laptop close, fingers flying as she saved the audio file to multiple cloud drives. Ensuring its safety, she labeled it Room 5001, the penthouse suite where Ethan's betrayal unfolded. Her mind, once clouded by love, was now a battlefield, mapping every move. She wouldn't just leave him, she'd expose him to the world. She opened her phone, scrolling through contacts. Her cousin, a tech whiz, had taught her about metadata and file integrity. Amara verified the recording's timestamp, 11:47 p.m., the night before their rehearsal. It was ironclad proof. She burned a copy onto a second USB, slipping it into her purse. Her next move was riskier. She called Nia, her voice steady despite the storm inside. I need you to keep this safe, she said, handing over a sealed envelope with a third copy. Nia's eyes widened, but Amara cut her off. No questions. Just trust me. By midnight, Amara was at a 24-hour cafe, sipping tea, her laptop shielded from prying eyes. She researched Ethan's mistress, Claire Thompson, a socialite with a trail of tabloid scandals. Claire's Instagram flaunted yacht parties and diamond necklaces, gifts, Amara now realized, from Ethan. Her stomach churned, but she dug deeper. Finding Claire's link to Ethan's rival, Marcus Reed, a hedge fund titan, an idea sparked. Amara emailed Marcus under a pseudonym, attaching a snippet of the recording. Interested in sinking Caldwell's empire? She wrote. Marcus replied within hours, intrigued. They met at dawn in a discreet Brooklyn diner, where Amara revealed her identity. Marcus, smelling blood, agreed to leak the audio to investors if she delivered more dirt. Amara spent the next day shadowing Ethan's digital footprint. She hacked into his public-facing calendar, noting meetings with key shareholders. Posing as his assistant, she accessed his emails outbox, finding flirty exchanges with Claire. She screenshot everything, her fingers trembling with rage. Back home, she synced the evidence to a private server, her baby's heartbeat on the ultrasound photo beside her fueling her resolve. This is for you, she whispered. Her final step was psychological. She texted Ethan, all sweetness, "Can't wait to be your wife." His reply, "You're my world, babe," made her gag. She needed him complacent, unsuspecting. She called her lawyer, a sharp woman named Denise, and instructed her to void the marriage license quietly. "Make it vanish," Amara said. Denise, sensing urgency, complied without questions. As night fell, Amara stood before her mirror, her reflection fierce. The watch she'd meant for Ethan lay discarded. In its place was a USB drive, her weapon. Manhattan's skyline glittered outside. Unaware of the reckoning brewing, Amara wasn't just gathering evidence. She was building an arsenal to dismantle a billionaire's lies, her baby's future her unyielding North Star. Amara woke with the dawn, Manhattan's skyline a stark reminder of the empire she'd helped topple. Her brownstone was quiet, but her mind roared with strategy. The USB drive, heavy with Ethan's betrayal, sat beside her coffee mug. She'd recorded his venom, secured allies, but now she needed to orchestrate his public downfall. Her first call was to Denise, her lawyer, confirming the marriage license's cancellation. "It's gone from the registry," Denise assured. "No trace." Amara exhaled, one chain broken. Next, she dialed Marcus Reed, Ethan's rival. "I'm sending you his shareholder emails," she said, forwarding the incriminating flirtations with Claire. Marcus chuckled. "This'll spook his investors. Keep me posted." Amara's plan wasn't just personal, it was surgical. She contacted a tech journalist, Lila Chun, known for exposing corporate fraud. Under anonymity, Amara leaked a teaser of the audio, promising the full file post-wedding. Lila, hungry for a scoop, agreed to stand by. Amara then met her father at a Harlem cafe, her voice low. "Dad, I need you to call Ethan's lead investor, Mr. Grayson. Tell him you've heard rumors of mismanagement." Her father, eyes heavy with concern, nodded. "For you, Amara, anything." By noon, Grayson was rattled, pulling funds from Ethan's tech empire. Her boldest move was financial. Amara had access to Ethan's secondary accounts from their joint charity work. She froze a non-critical fund, just enough to unnerve his board. Posing as his CFO's assistant, she emailed the board vague warnings of audit issues, sowing chaos. Ethan, oblivious, texted her heart emojis, believing her at a spa day. Amara smirked, replying, "Love you too." Her deception was flawless, her rage a silent inferno. She visited a sound engineer, embedding the audio into a Bluetooth device small enough to hide in her bouquet. "Make it loud," she instructed. The engineer, sensing her fire, nodded. By evening, Amara stood in St. Patrick's Cathedral, rehearsing with oblivious bridesmaids. The altar loomed, a stage for her reckoning. She tested the Bluetooth device, its crackle promising devastation. Nia, sensing her intensity, whispered, "You sure about this?" Amara's eyes gleamed. Never been sure. She met Annie Lena, a women's rights advocate, at a discreet bar. "After tomorrow, I want to speak out," Amara said. Lena gripped her hand. "You'll change lives." Amara nodded, her vision expanding beyond revenge to empowerment. Her final act was personal. She wrote a letter to her unborn child, sealing it in her safe. "Grace, I'm fighting for you to know your worth." Back home, she slipped into her wedding gown, its silk cool against her skin. The mirror reflected a warrior, not a bride. She hid the Bluetooth device in her bouquet, its weight a promise. Manhattan buzzed outside, its elite unaware of the storm Amara was unleashing. Ethan's empire teetered, his investors spooked, his board in disarray. Amara lay awake, her baby kicking, her resolve ironclad. Tomorrow, she wouldn't just walk down the aisle, she'd burn Ethan's world to ash, her truth a beacon for every woman he dared to diminish. St. Patrick's Cathedral glowed under Manhattan's sun, its spires piercing the sky as 500 guests filled its pews. Roses cascaded, chandeliers sparkled, and a string quartet played softly. Amara Jackson, resplendent in white silk, stepped from her limousine, her pregnant belly a proud curve. Her face was serene, but her eyes burned with purpose. The crowd gasped, "She's a vision," unaware of the storm she carried. Her bouquet hid the Bluetooth device, its button cool under her thumb. Ethan Caldwell, dashing in a black tux, grinned at the altar, shaking hands with tycoons. His charm a polished mask. Claire Thompson, his mistress, slinked in a gold dress, smirking as a bridesmaid. Amara's father escorted her down the aisle, his grip steady. Whispers followed. "She's glowing. Her gaze locked on Ethan, unreadable. He winked, mistaking her calm for nerves. Pastor Ellis began, his voice warm. Today, we celebrate love's triumph. Amara's heart thundered, her fingers grazing the device. Ethan spoke first, his vows dripping with false sincerity. Amara, you're my forever, my peace. Guests dabbed tears. Claire's smile faltered, sensing a shift. Amara took the microphone, pausing, her silence heavy. The cathedral held its breath. She pressed the button. A crackle erupted. Then Ethan's voice boomed through the speakers. Amara's naive, Claire. I'm marrying her for the kids' trust fund. She's nothing without it. Gasps ricocheted. Ethan froze, his face draining. Claire's hand flew to her mouth. The recording continued. Once we're married, I'll control her. Kissing sounds followed, Claire's giggle unmistakable. Guests stood, phones out, recording the chaos. Ethan lunged for the microphone, but Amara stepped back, her voice icy. Let it play. The audio ended with Claire's laugh, a dagger in the silence. Amara faced the crowd, her voice steady but electric. Last night, while I planned our future, this man mocked me in his penthouse with her. She pointed at Claire, who shrank. He used my child, my love, for his greed. Murmurs exploded. Ethan stammered, Amara, it's a lie. She held up her phone, the audio file glowing. Room 5001. I heard you. Guest screamed. One fainted. Pastor Ellis clutched his Bible, speechless. Amara turned to Ethan, her eyes blazing. You thought I was weak. You were wrong. She pointed at Claire. And you, my friend, betrayed me for his lies. Claire tried to flee, but guests blocked her, shouting. Amara's father stood, fists clenched, as Ethan's mother, Mrs. Caldwell, hissed, You've shamed us. Amara raised the microphone. I came to marry a man I loved. Instead, I found truth. She dropped her engagement ring. Its clatter echoing. The crowd roared, some clapping, others filming. Ethan's face crumpled, his empire's collapse already trending online. Amara turned, her gown flowing like a queen's cape, and walked toward the doors. The quartet faltered, but the guests' cheers rose, a tide of awe. She'd unmasked a billionaire, her truth a wildfire no one could extinguish. Amara Jackson strode down St. Patrick's Aisle, her white gown trailing like a warrior's banner. The cathedral's stained glass cast colors on her face, but her eyes held their own fire. Guests stood, some cheering, others stunned, their phones capturing her exodus. Ethan's pleas, Amara, wait, faded into the roar of the crowd. She didn't look back. Her engagement ring lay abandoned on the altar, a glittering relic of a lie. Claire, cornered by furious guests, sobbed, her gold dress a mockery. Amara's father followed, his proud nod her anchor. Outside, Manhattan's air hit her lungs, sharp and free. Her baby kicked, and for the first time, Amara smiled. She paused on the cathedral steps, the city's pulse syncing with hers. Reporters swarmed, microphones thrusting forward. MS. Jackson, what happened? One shouted. Amara faced them, her voice clear. I walked away from a man who thought he could own me. I'm choosing my child, my truth. Cameras flashed, her words already trending. A woman in the crowd yelled, You're a queen. Amara's smile deepened. She stepped into her limousine, the door closing on Ethan's world. Inside, Nia gripped her hand. You did it, girl. Amara nodded, her resolve iron. Back at her brownstone, she shed her gown, its silk pooling like shed skin. She stood in sweats, rubbing her belly. The USB drive on her table a trophy. Her phone buzzed. Lila Chin, the journalist, had published the audio online. Twitter exploded. Hashtag Room 5001, hashtag Amara rises. Ethan's stock plummeted, investors fleeing. Amara didn't gloat. She felt only peace. She called her father. I'm okay, Dad. Really? His voice cracked. I've never been prouder. She hung up, her heart steady, her baby's kicks her rhythm. Amara opened her laptop, drafting a statement for her nonprofit site. Today, I chose myself, she wrote. To every woman betrayed, you are enough. She posted it, and comments flooded in. You saved me. I'm leaving my abuser. Her story was no longer hers alone. It was a movement. She emailed Annie Lena, agreeing to speak at a women's rally. I'm ready, she wrote. Lena replied. The world's waiting. Amara slept that night. No nightmares, only the hum of Manhattan outside, her baby's heartbeat her lullaby. The next morning, she met Nia for coffee. the city buzzing with her name. "They're calling you a hero," Nia said, showing her a headline. "Bride's revenge shakes billionaire's empire." Amara shrugged. "I'm just a mom protecting her kid." But her eyes gleamed with purpose. She visited her safe, retrieving the letter to her unborn child. "Grace," she whispered, "we're free." Her phone pinged Marcus Reed, confirming Ethan's board was in chaos. Amara didn't reply. Her victory was in her steps, her breath, her life. She walked to her balcony, Manhattan sprawling below. The city that had tried to break her now bowed. Amara wasn't just leaving a wedding, she was stepping into a legacy, her daughter's future, her unyielding vow. Ethan Caldwell stood frozen in St. Patrick's Cathedral, the echo of Amara's recording haunting the silence. Guests stared, their whispers venomous. His tux, once a symbol of power, clung to his sweat-soaked frame. His mother, Mrs. Caldwell, stormed forward, her voice a hiss. "You've disgraced us, Ethan." She slapped his arm, tears streaking her makeup. Claire Thompson, in her gold dress, tried to slip out. But women blocked her, shouting, "Homewrecker." Claire's sobs were drowned by jeers, her socialite facade crumbling. Phones flashed, capturing their shame for the world. Ethan's empire teetered. And he felt it, his world was collapsing. By evening, #Room 5001 trended globally. Lila Chen's article, with Amara's audio, hit every major outlet. Ethan's stock tanked 30%, investors fleeing like rats. His board called an emergency meeting, their emails, leaked by Marcus Reed, revealing panic. "Caldwell's a liability," one wrote. Ethan locked himself in his penthouse, the same suite where he'd mocked Amara. His phone buzzed with furious texts from partners, but he couldn't face them. He stared at his reflection, seeing not a billionaire, but a fraud. His assistant quit via email. "You're done, sir." The silence was deafening. Claire fared no better. Her Instagram, once a shrine to luxury, was flooded with hate, betrayal, disgrace. Sponsors dropped her. Her yacht invitations vanished. She hid in her Soho loft, curtains drawn, her phone off. Her family, old money aristocrats, disowned her, their statement cold. "Claire's actions do not reflect our values." She texted Ethan, begging, "We can fix this." No reply. Alone, she scrolled through Amara's viral post, her heart sinking. Claire had thought she'd won Ethan's heart. Now, she was Manhattan's pariah, her name synonymous with treachery. Ethan's mother called, her voice venomous. "You threw away a queen for a fling. Fix this, or you're no son of mine." He tried calling investors, but none answered. Marcus Reed's hedge fund swooped in, buying Ethan's failing assets at a discount. By morning, Ethan's company was a shell, his billionaire status a memory. He sat in his office, lights off, papers scattered. A knock came, a repossessors for his leased jet. "You're finished, Caldwell?" One sneered. Ethan didn't argue. He had no fight left. Claire faced her reckoning publicly. At a charity gala, attendees shunned her, whispering as she passed. A woman spat, "You heard Amara. You're nothing." Claire fled, tears streaming, her heels clicking on empty streets. She called her therapist, sobbing, "I didn't know it'd go this far." But her regret was too late. Her name, once gilded, was mud. Ethan, meanwhile, moved to his parents' Hamptons estate, hiding from paparazzi. His mother's words echoed, "You chose wrong." He saw Amara's face on every newsstand, her strength mocking his ruin. The fallout wasn't just financial, it was existential. Ethan and Claire, once untouchable, were outcasts, their betrayal a cautionary tale. Manhattan, their playground, turned cold. Amara's truth had stripped them bare, their lies no match for her fire. As their worlds crumbled, her star rose, a reminder that betrayal's cost is steep when truth holds the gavel. Amara Jackson sat in her brownstone, her laptop glowing with messages from strangers. "You gave me courage. I left my abuser because of you." Her wedding expose had ignited a firestorm. #Room 5001 a global rallying cry. Manhattan buzzed with her name, but Amara wasn't chasing fame. She was forging a movement. She launched a blog, The Vows I Kept, sharing her story with raw honesty. "Betrayal broke me," she wrote, "but I rebuilt stronger." The post went viral, amassing 500,000 shares in days. Women from London to Lagos commented, their stories of survival weaving a tapestry of solidarity. Amara's pain became their power. She partnered with Annie Lena, speaking at a women's rally in Central Park. Under autumn leaves, too. 000 women gathered, their signs reading, "We are enough." Amara took the stage, her baby bump proud, her voice steady. "I walked away from a lie to choose myself," she said. "You can too." The crowd roared, tears streaming. A teenager approached after, whispering, "I'm leaving my toxic boyfriend." "Thank you." Amara hugged her, her own healing deepening. Her speech hit YouTube, racking up millions of views. Brands offered endorsements, but she refused, keeping her mission pure. Amara's nonprofit pivoted, launching a campaign for betrayed women. She crowdfunded $1 million in a week, funding shelters and legal aid. Her team, led by Nia, built a website streaming her talks live. Universities invited her. She spoke at NYU. Her words electrifying students. "Your worth isn't in a ring. It's in you," she said, earning a standing ovation. Her father watched online, texting, "You're changing the world, baby girl." Amara smiled, her baby's kicks her anchor. She wasn't just a bride who walked, she was a beacon. The media crowned her a hero. Vogue profiled her, Amara Jackson, from betrayal to revolution. She graced their cover, her gaze fierce, her bump radiant. Talk shows called, but she chose podcasts, sharing unfiltered truths. Listeners emailed, one writing, "I divorced my cheating husband after hearing you. I'm free." Amara read each message, her heart swelling. She started a newsletter, Rise Up, with 100,000 subscribers in a month. Her words, sharp, poetic, cut through shame, urging women to reclaim their stories. Ethan's downfall amplified her rise. His company's collapse, plastered across headlines, contrasted with Amara's ascent. She didn't gloat. She focused forward, meeting with policymakers to fund domestic violence programs. Her brownstone became a hub, women visiting to share stories. Nia joked, "You're running a revolution from your couch." Amara laughed, but her eyes held purpose. She framed her daughter's ultrasound, whispering, "Grace, this is for you." Her blog posts grew bolder, tackling systemic betrayal in relationships and workplaces. By winter, Amara's name was synonymous with empowerment. She announced a book deal, The Vows I Kept for Myself, promising to donate proceeds to her foundation. Pre-orders soared, women calling it their freedom manual. Her rally speech replayed on Times Square billboards, her voice a clarion call. Amara stood on her balcony, Manhattan's lights bowing to her. She'd turned betrayal into a global awakening, her daughter's future her vow, her story a lighthouse for the lost. Amara Jackson's labor began under a stormy Manhattan sky, rain lashing her brownstone's windows. Pain gripped her, but she breathed through it, her mother's hand steady. "You're strong, Amara," she said. In the hospital, nurses rushed her to delivery, the lights bright but her focus sharper. After hours of grit, she pushed, and Grace arrived, a tiny, perfect girl with eyes like her mother's. Amara held her, tears falling, not from pain but purpose. "You're my everything," she whispered. Grace's heartbeat, soft against her chest. Healed wounds Ethan's betrayal had carved. Manhattan's chaos faded. This moment was hers, unbroken. Back home, Amara nursed Grace under a tree, her blog open on her phone. Messages poured in. "You're my hero. Your story saved me." She'd built a foundation, Rise Up, funding therapy for betrayed women. Her brownstone buzzed with volunteers, Nia organizing donations. Amara's mother cooked pepper soup. Her father read to Grace, their home a fortress of love. She visited her doctor, Grace healthy, her own heart strong. "You're a warrior," the doctor said. Amara smiled, feeling it. Her pain wasn't gone, but it was fuel, her daughter her North Star. She wrote nightly, her book taking shape. The Vows I Kept for Myself poured out, raw, poetic, unflinching. Publishers called it a masterpiece. Amara called it truth. She spoke at a Brooklyn shelter, women hugging her, their stories mirroring hers. "I stayed for my kids," one said. "You showed me I can leave." Amara listened, her own healing deepening. She framed Grace's first photo beside her ultrasound, a timeline of triumph. Nia visited, joking, "You're a mom and a mogul." Amara laughed, but her eyes held quiet strength. Her foundation grew, opening a Manhattan safe house. Amara cut the ribbon, Grace in her arms, cameras flashing. Donors pledged millions. Inspired by her story, she met Andy Lena weekly, planning a global summit for women's empowerment. "You're rewriting history," Lena said. Amara nodded, her vision vast. She blocked Ethan's number after one desperate text, her peace unshakable. Her father showed her a headline: Amara Jackson's rise, a billionaire's fall, a queen's ascent. She shrugged. It's not about him anymore. Amara's nights were Grace's lullabies, her days a whirlwind of advocacy. She spoke at the UN, her voice steady, Grace asleep on her chest. Betrayal doesn't define us, our choices do, she said, earning applause. Her blog hit 1 million followers, women sharing survival stories. One, a teen named Maya, wrote, I left my abuser because of you. Amara cried, her purpose clear. She planted a garden with Grace, whispering, we'll grow strong, like these roots. Manhattan's skyline watched, its pulsars. By spring, Amara's scars were stories, not shackles. She danced with Grace to jazz, her laughter free. Her mother said, you've found joy again. Amara nodded, her heart full. She wasn't just healing. She was thriving. Her daughter, her legacy. Her work, her vow. The city that saw her fall now witnessed her soar. A black queen rewriting her destiny with every step, every word, every breath. Amara Jackson stood on a university stage, Grace asleep on her chest, her voice commanding a packed hall. I was a bride who walked away, she said. But I became a woman who stayed true. The crowd, students, mothers, professors, erupted, their cheers echoing through Manhattan's spring air. Her book, The Vows I Kept for Myself, was a bestseller. Its pages dog-eared by women worldwide. Her foundation, Rise Up, had opened 10 safe houses, saving thousands from abuse. Amara's story wasn't just hers, it was a cultural tidal wave. Hashtag Amara Rise is a mantra for the resilient. Her legacy was no accident. It was forged in fire. She spoke globally, from London to Johannesburg, her words a lifeline. In Paris, a woman approached, tears streaming. I left my cheating husband because of you. Amara hugged her, her own strength renewed. Her blog, now a platform, posted stories from 50 countries, women reclaiming their worth. She launched a podcast, Unbroken, its first episode hitting 1 million downloads. Guests like Annie Lena joined, amplifying her mission. Times Square billboards flashed her face, Vogue calling her the voice of a generation. Amara smiled but stayed grounded, Grace her anchor. Her summit, Women Rise, drew 10,000 to Madison Square Garden. Amara keynote, Grace in a carrier. Her voice electric. We're not victims, we're victors, she declared. The crowd stood, chanting her name. Politicians pledged funds, celebrities joined her cause. Her father, watching online, texted, You've built an empire. Amara replied, No, Dad, a community. She mentored girls like Maya, now in college, who called her my second mom. Amara's heart swelled. Her legacy wasn't fame, but impact. Each life touched a brick in her monument. Ethan's shadow lingered, a cautionary tale. His one-room apartment, a far cry from his penthouse, hosted his regret. He watched Amara's UN speech. Pausing it, his eyes hollow. His company was gone, his name toxic. Claire, exiled to obscurity, saw Amara's book in every store, her shame complete. Amara didn't dwell on them. Her eyes were forward. She wrote a children's book, Grace's Strength, for her daughter, teaching kids self-worth. It sold out in hours, parents praising its message. Amara read it to Grace nightly, her voice soft. Her love fierce. Her foundation partnered with the UN, launching a global anti-abuse campaign. Amara met presidents, her poise unshakable. Yet, she stayed Amara, cooking with her mom, joking with Nia, gardening with Grace. Her brownstone, once a refuge, was a headquarters, volunteers buzzing. She framed a letter from Pastor Ellis. You've walked into greatness. Amara nodded, her journey complete. Her final speech, at Harvard, ended with, Your worth is your power. Never surrender it. The standing ovation lasted minutes. Amara's legacy wasn't just her story. It was the millions she'd lifted. Women mailed her bracelets, letters, art, calling her their queen. She kept them in a box, Grace's tiny hand touching each. Manhattan, her battlefield, now sang her name. As she tucked Grace in, whispering, You're my why. Amara knew her strength had reshaped the world, her daughter's future its heart. Amara Jackson's journey teaches us that true strength blooms in the ashes of betrayal. Her story isn't about revenge, it's about reclamation. When Ethan's lies shattered her, Amara didn't crumble. She rose, proving that self-worth is the ultimate currency. Her courage shows us that walking away from deceit isn't weakness, but a declaration of power. She chose her daughter, Grace, and herself over a hollow vow, reminding us that love begins within. Betrayal stings, but it's a mirror reflecting what we tolerate. Amara's fire teaches us to reject lies, to value our truth, and to build lives of purpose. Her legacy whispers, "You are enough, always." This lesson is universal. Whether it's a cheating partner, a toxic job, or a dream that dims, Amara's path lights the way. She turned pain into purpose, her foundation saving thousands, her words freeing millions. Her story asks, what lies are you accepting? What strength are you hiding? You don't need a cathedral or a billionaire's betrayal to claim your worth. Every step you take toward truth is a victory, every choice to rise a legacy. Amara's life proves that healing isn't quiet, it's loud, fierce, and world-changing. Don't let Amara's story be just a tale. Share your truth on social media, with a friend, or in a journal. Tag hashtag Amara Rises to join a global chorus of resilience. Visit Rise Up Foundation, or to support women escaping betrayal, whether through donations or volunteering. Write your story, speak your pain, and help another rise. Like Amara, choose yourself. And watch your strength ripple. Your voice matters. Use it to rebuild, to inspire, to change the world, one truth at a time.